when I was diagnosed over a year ago with stage 3 breast cancer, that journey have already taught me so much. Oh, I'm so blessed. I really took advantage of that to learn and really wake up. But for that reason also, priorities. It's just to take a few steps back and look at your life from a little bit bigger perspective and to realize what matters in your life and try to prioritize, because 24 hours, I wish I had more time. Yeah, but if you really look at what you know,
you can look deep in there and go, wow, I'm spending my time doing these things that I shouldn't be doing when these things make me happy. How can I have more of those moments?
Exactly.
So Julie, I am so pumped to have you on the show today. You have been my biggest idol in the aesthetics world since I've absolutely started aesthetics. You are the lip queen. I love injecting lips, and I dreamed of going to train with you, and then I got to know how incredible you are as a human. You have such a special energy of positivity, and your spirit is like no other, and you keep it raw, real, and to the point all the time. You're very honest and humble. And I love every bit of that about you. So I am so honored to have you on this podcast today, the very first episode of Holding Time Back. I couldn't think of a better person to hear your legacy story, hear about how you became the lip queen, hear about how you got to the top in aesthetics. And I'm just so honored to have you today. So thank you for joining.
Oh, gosh. I thank God I have so much makeup on. I mean, I'm blushing under here. Thank you, Amanda. That was an incredible introduction. And I mean, first time we met, you came on a training. It was in Oslo, right? Or was it?
It was in Switzerland. Yep.
In Switzerland, yes.
Switzerland.
Yes.
Yep.
We really connected. And I think people like you and me, we are quite self-aware. We have done a lot of mind work, mind searching.
Yes.
We have come over that step where you can be a little bit intimidating by other women. And, that kind of reaction you get, the jealousy part, you don't admit to yourself that you're actually jealous, that kind of part, that stuff we came over, and we both are very, very passionate in what we are doing, and we are women supporters all the way. So I think like you and I are quite similar personalities, fundamental values. I think we carry a lot the same. And such an honor to be your first guest on this, to be a most successful podcast. You're amazing, Amanda, on what you do, and I'm so proud of you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Julie. I'm so excited to just share with the listeners your story and all that you have in your soul. So we're gonna dive deep today. We're gonna hear about you. We're gonna hear about your success. We're gonna hear about the bomb that you just launched. So my very first question to you is, I want to hear about little Julie and what made you this strong woman that you are today.
I am quite resilient, aren't I? Well, little Julie, if I'm going to talk to me or look back at me as a child, it was a rough upbringing. I was faced with challenges and difficulties already as a very, very small child, growing up under quite turbulent, traumatic circumstances, or more or less independent. From age 16, I left, and not only because I didn't feel safe or didn't get the support I needed, I also, in addition, I grew up in a very small town in Sweden, like small town, that kind of around people with, is it offensive to say small town mentality?
Not at all. Eh,
Okay, good.
it's mindset is everything. I mean, we have different
Yeah,
belief lids, and when we believe we can impact the world versus just our small town, it's such a
yeah.
different belief. So, you grew up in that
I
sort of
just
mentality.
knew, I just knew that I was different,
Mhm,
and I had like this ambition, a burn. I didn't know what when I was that young, but I knew that I was different, from everyone else. And I felt like a big fish in a small pond, if that makes sense.
right, it does.
So not only I left, from my home, I also moved away, like to another city, no social network, nothing. I never been afraid or scared to
Mhm,
step out there. I'm quite adventurous, but small fish, big fish, sorry, small pond, difficult childhood, clueless. And of course, in that age, you bump into, you do bad, calls, bad decisions. Um, yeah, you fall for these guys you shouldn't fall for, the love bombing thing
mhm, yes,
stuff that you needed, that
yeah,
kind of stuff put me into, you know, several difficult situations and traumas that I have been through. Long story short, little Julie had to take care of herself a lot.
mhm,
She never gave up. She never ever took the easy way, um, numb feelings and just, stay in the same, walk in circles, whatever it could be.
mhm,
I just wanted more. I knew that life is so precious, and I have some kind of I knew I had something, purpose, several purposes, and I just want to live my life the way I want and live it fully out. Um, and despite being under attack, traumatized, um, not being very well treated by others, I refused to let them change me, my mindset. People called me, "You're so naive. You're too," well, maybe I am,
mm,
but I rather be a little bit naive and continue carrying my good intentions and carry the belief that other people also have good intentions. Because if I start losing that part of myself, I think that slowly will lead to me becoming a person that I don't want to be. So
mhm,
rather stab me, hurt me, but you can never break me. I rather be hurt more times than people take that ability away from me,
mhm,
thinking, good of other people. I am learning some science and being more, got more skilled. I can, but still, I get fooled like everyone else. But I think that is the reason why I have thick skin. I'm
mm,
very resilient. It
mhm.
started already in the childhood and overcoming a lot of difficulties and challenges. Yeah, and never ever stop believing in myself.
I love that. You know, we are who we tell ourselves we are, and if we believe the
100%.
narrative of what people tell us as we're growing up, those people that wanna hurt us, then we would
Yeah,
become that person, and it's rising
exactly.
above and being resilient and learning to be
Mm,
that strong person saying, "No, this is me.
mm,
I'm meant to do great things." And
mm.
and it sounds like you always had that in your soul, that you were meant to live in
Always.
greatness.
I
So
was I was born to take care of others, to help others. I'm a
yes.
born, natural caretaker. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I feel the same. It's so interesting, right? So that led you into medicine. Tell us about
Yes.
that journey. How did you get into medicine? And then what switched over to this passion for aesthetics? How did that happen?
So medicine, again, I mean, it doesn't have to be people like Homo sapiens. It could also be any living creature that are in need.
Mhm.
Like I'm the person who I save bugs from the swimming pool. Uh, but then if I have crickets inside that never shut up, and then 2 nights later, no sleep, I find them. I would like torture them a little bit before I kill them.
Oh, no.
But no, that was a joke.
I know.
Now, but
Love it.
I wouldn't hurt a fly. Okay, where was the question
So
again?
so
I
you
got
love you so what
yeah,
led you into medicine?
yeah,
I know you love to help
remember.
people, and you
Yes.
found this passion and this purpose in helping people, and you first started in medicine before it even was aesthetics. So what was that journey of going from medicine to aesthetics? Like how did you go from this rough beginning to pulling yourself towards medicine and I'm gonna make a difference in this field?
Yeah, that is quite a story as well. So I knew taking care of people, helping others gave me the most reward. Like nothing else could beat that. And that feeling I got from that was such a comfort, and
Mm,
I needed that. It became like, oh, this is what I need. So the reward from them was kind of, I think, why I seeked even further into that field. Like,
mhm.
oh my God, I'm doing something good. I was just, it was a, yeah, like they confirmed that yes, you're in the right path.
Yes.
Um, so when you know, I moved away from many miles away from my hometown, and close to Stockholm, there is a city called Örebro. Doesn't matter, in Sweden, and I saved up money. I worked. I took a short uh like it education, like a weekend education or something, to become a bartender. And I learned how to flare the bottles.
Oh,
I could,
wow.
fire, when
Uh-huh.
you blow
Yes.
fire and all that.
Special
We did
talents. Those are
shows.
those are fun party tricks.
I know I can still do it. Well, I
That's so
take my
fun.
wig off maybe when now. No, so I've always been like, financial wise, I've never been very obsessed with money at all.
Mhm,
I come from nothing. Well, I didn't starve at all. I couldn't
mhm.
say that. But never had that extra, or yeah, grew up like low middle class, and yeah, never, yeah.
I
So,
did too. I can
however,
relate. I can relate. Yes.
yeah, and
Mhm,
money really wasn't, but I knew I needed it to get an education. I needed it to pay bills
mhm,
and rent and all that. So sure, I started working extra as a bartender, and in that way, I'm also kind of, I'm a person, I need my space.
mhm. Yes.
I could not live in a dorm room, for example, at the
Mhm,
university. So that's again, I'm like, shit, okay. I took an extra job so I could pay rent while I was studying, because I
wow.
applied to the university. I was a nurse assistant, but I wanted to go in to do my bachelor and become a nurse. So working extra, and studying full time, could afford my own rent, and
Mhm,
yeah, straight A student. Just went in there, did it. We have like these practical parts at the education, and I just like felt you get to touch a little bit of psychology,
mhm,
medicine,
mhm,
surgery, elderly, geriatric, whatever. And I felt like, all right, a little bit more of this emergency stuff where you have a lot of responsibility, where you're
mhm,
able to lead a little bit. I felt, oh, that was exciting. It was tickling. And
mhm,
the thorax surgery ward, like
mhm,
at the ICU, you got him directly after. It could be heart transplant, it could
mhm,
be grafts, whatever, valves. So there, I really felt like home. Okay,
mhm.
this is what I want to do and then I really went for it. And of course, when he was over there, like, when are you when when are you graduating? I'm like, oh, I have like 3 months left. And they're like, oh, do you want a job? So that was my like first job
Right
offer I
away.
got from school, and then yeah, that's how I came in there
Wow.
to begin with.
So right away you were attracted to that high energy,
Yeah.
Let's stimulate me. Let's see what I can do
Mhm.
in these
Yeah.
emergencies. It's interesting when you
Yes.
go through trauma when you're younger, I feel like you're almost attracted to it when you're older
Yeah.
because you
Yes.
feel like you can stabilize the situation finally with something and everyone needs
100%.
you. I mean, I had the
Mm.
same sort of path. I was emergency first before I chose aesthetics, and I just felt like it was my
Cool.
home. It was just like my home, you know? So,
We need to
how
have a wine tonight, you and I.
I know, I know. Yeah,
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
should. So you started in the ICU and you were in thoracic surgery. How long did you stay in that arena before aesthetics was even a thing?
So already now, when I graduated, I started there working. Already now, parallel to all this, I had a huge complex about myself. I didn't have any lips. They were so thin. My teeth, yeah, my teeth were a little bit like overlapped. It wasn't that bad, like someone threw them in my mouth. But still, I wasn't confident with my smile, if I just to say that. My lips were like nothing. And that age also now, we're talking, now I'm in my early 20s.
Okay.
You want some lips, right?
You
And I
do.
didn't have
Yes.
boobs either.
That's the
Always
age where you want
skinny.
all the things, right?
I know, but I got other good stuff.
Yes.
Kind of never had any weight problem, little bit above average in testosterone, so I don't get overweight. I build muscles, body weight. I don't have to work out too much. I'm one of those bitches, everyone
Yeah,
hates.
you're
I can
lucky.
eat whatever I want. Yeah.
In your 20s, you wanted lips, and that maybe even started, like, you on the path that you are on today.
It wasn't really I want lips. It's just, well, how can I get confident? How can I and I understood that I had to do something. So I did lots of research, and to be honest, with my lips, I'll send you a picture. Maybe you can show it
Sure.
somewhere.
Yes.
Um,
I love that.
Started when I was 19 with my first surgery, actually. They took a
Mm,
fat graft from my butt cheek. They could
mm.
find a little fat there. Can you imagine? So surgery first. Looking back at that, no, I would not do it again if I
Mhm,
knew the healing time was 6 months and I looked
mhm,
like I don't know what. But then after that, it was healed, started to build up slowly, slowly with a little bit of filler. So yeah, that thing, like when I stepped into that first clinic where I was having my filler treatments, not
mhm.
only like the atmosphere, it was like fierce, sexy, beautiful women in their well-fitted
Yeah.
white lab coats.
Mhm.
And the interior, it was like, oh, wow, one day when I grow up, this is what I want to do, I got that
Yes.
good tickle feeling.
Mhm,
And then when I realized, when went through all these treatments and how it changed my life
mhm.
by being able to give a confident smile. I never
Right.
stopped smiling since.
Wow.
So that's when I realized the actual impact we have on our patients, because I've
Mhm.
been there myself. I've been
Right.
one of these insecure uh, girls in that
Mhm.
age. So yeah, and continued with working with the heart surgery stuff. I mean, I'm an employee. I have a safe income. I was, like my coworkers, all that, but this was always one day, one day. So that was like, I was just waiting until I felt like, okay, always when I feel like my path is going in a circle,
Mhm.
then I need something new, right?
Right.
So
Mhm,
13 years stepping out of my comfort zone,
mhm.
starting from nothing, and I just did it.
So
And
what was your first dipping your toe in the water? Was it in that clinic that you got treatments, or what was the pathway? Who gave you the opportunity in aesthetics first?
no one gave me the opportunity. I just allowed myself to take the opportunity or
Wow.
grab one. So I
Okay.
started doing research. I looked at information. I was like reading myself up on different companies, filler companies and what they offered. And in the Nordics, where I'm from, Sweden, Norway, um, Galderma actually offers like an authorization program. It's 6 months. You need to do a theory part, write an exam. You need to do case studies. You have to show this and that amount of models, and yeah, to and I did that, and obviously they were very impressed by my passion when I was
Mhm.
there, Galderma. They're like,
I'm sure.
they saw something burning in me. So
Like,
she's
she's a
like, okay,
shining star. I see her
she
going
might be,
far.
yeah, they
Yes.
saw something in me. So I think there was where everything started. They saw
Wow.
how much I wanted this. They just felt, okay, this is our new star in a way after a while.
I love that.
And yeah, I mean, 1 year after I got my certification, I was standing on stage in Stockholm lecturing in front of 450 medical practitioners and injecting
Mm.
live on stage 1 year
Wow.
after I like hold a syringe. Yeah,
You were just that skilled right away, and you knew that this was
I th-
the thing you were drawn to.
I'm an artist,
Yes.
I mean, I can cut hair, I can dye hair, I can do many stuff. Everything that is creative or artistic, I know I'm born with that kind of. So yeah.
Mhm. So what was it like to suddenly be on that stage? Like, teaching in front of 450
Oh
people and
gosh,
injecting live. Were you
I was
nervous?
shit scared. I was shit scared, Amanda.
Yes,
Oof,
I bet.
gosh, I think I was considering wearing like these pads just in case I shat myself. No.
That's
And
awesome.
that's important
I
to
love it.
say. I mean, hello again.
Mhm,
You, nothing is comfortable. Like
mhm. I
first
know.
time I was sliding out in front, and I have high expectations on myself,
Mhm,
and to not let myself down or to stand there and make a completely fool out of yourself. All these,
mhm.
ghosts were. So I was shaking like a crazy person. And when I was talking, like, yeah, after the intro, my voice.
Mhm.
But then, as soon as I started talking and I get connected with the audience,
Right.
then, yeah, it just went away. And
Mhm.
no one ever realized that I was nervous.
Right.
So, yeah,
It's that connection. If you suddenly connect and then you feel like you have something great to give them, it makes you take all your guards down. You go from like,
yes,
"Oh, should I be here? Am I good enough to be here?" That little bit
yeah,
of imposter syndrome that we all have
mm,
to, "Oh, I
mm,
I have something to give them. I have this
yeah,
special skill that they don't know, and
yeah.
let's share it. Let's get them to the next level." So, wow, that's so interesting. So, at this time when you were teaching, were you treating patients on a regular basis as well in your own clinic? And
Oh,
what did
yeah.
your schedule look like in these days? How did you balance your
Oh,
life?
gosh, there were no balance at all. I'm a Libra, by the way, so
Awesome.
still struggling with that. But no, I worked my ass off. I mean, but I loved it, and I think like that's where you get that extra energy, like that extra gear you put in.
Yes.
Like for
Mhm,
instance, you can't compare, but just to have something like a mother giving birth,
mhm,
like I cannot understand. You don't sleep for weeks, and you have another
mhm,
4-year-old crazy wanting and then
mhm.
this one crying. How,
I know it's
right?
so hard, so hard. Giving up yourself is what you're doing during those years, right? Yes.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
So
I can't,
yes. Yep.
because I don't have kids.
Yes, yes.
But I think,
But
like,
you
in
gave up
some
yourself
ways,
maybe to work in that same way, right?
I believe so.
Mhm.
Yeah, I
Absolutely.
gave me an extra gear, so full days, like early morning to late afternoon, patients, and then I did case studies after that. Then I was
Mhm,
working on the side on, what I wanted, business plans.
mhm.
Obviously, I realized quite quickly that, oh my God, the stage, the connection, the audience, there is something here
Yes.
that, another passion woke up there. And
Mhm.
yeah,
You're like, "Now I see myself as a speaker and a trainer, not only just, providing care to patients and giving them
Yeah.
the lips of their dreams. So how did the lip teaching evolve? How did you get into that lane of becoming this showcase lip queen and then really loving to focus on that from all the areas we could inject as injectors?
I think again, it falls back to my own experience, having that kind of, and then also I love a good challenge. So I think lips is definitely the most difficult indication there is out there. Not only because no lips are the same, it's the most animated feature in our whole body. Um, so, and there's the teeth, there's the smile, it's in the center. So it's very, you
Right.
have to work with lips first of all from a very holistic mind view.
Mhm.
Um, and you have to be so careful because it's so easy to mess up. So it
Mm,
looks unnatural. And we have seen some examples of that.
yes.
So really, really, it takes a lot of work and education and skills. And I do love that fine detail
Mhm.
work. So I think I just got obsessed with that in a way. And especially when the patients were so happy and after such a short period of time, already my bookings were full and
Yes.
yeah, I was doing something right, I
Mhm.
felt. So I just continued on that. And
Yes.
yeah, still now, like it's all about the lips.
All about the lips, and, I know that you're on this mission for an international takeover and basically training everywhere. I've seen you just did a recent masterclass in Tampa. Now you're back in Oslo, where you're gonna be doing masterclasses
Mm-hmm.
there, and
Mm.
where like, what is your plan for the next, I don't know, 2 to 3 years in terms of what people can expect as far as education and where they can go to see you?
Oh, where they can go to see me. I mean, for me, I have so much more uh to give that I
Mhm.
am planning to really evolve more my education style, or because when I lecture now, um, a decade later, I don't just focus on the, evidence-based studies and the techniques and this and this and that.
Mhm.
We all live our lives, don't we? Work is a
Mhm.
part of our life, especially for me when it goes a little bit hand in hand. I don't have kids, family. So it's not like Monday to Friday and then weekends off kind of thing I'm doing. So it's really implemented in my life, my
Mhm.
work. So I
Right.
just try to bring in other stuff, like
Mhm.
to really try to motivate people to figure out what the audience might need. I like to for them to ask questions, to
Mhm.
find out, okay, and it doesn't have to be about lips. It can be a confidence question
Sure.
that is really why they're holding back. So I
Mhm.
try to really, uh, well, I'm not a therapist. I would never claim that I am, but just life guiding, motivation, inspiration, like putting
Mhm.
so much more. And of course, also entertainment, have a good
Right.
laugh.
Yes,
That's
you're
life
great at that.
also. So,
Edutainment is what I like to call it. I mean,
yeah,
it's what I've
entertainment.
heard that term used a lot, and you're
Yeah.
great at edutainment, where you're giving that entertainment with the core education that we need. So, teaching, if someone was a brand new injector, at what point should they come to attend one of your master classes?
They could come very early as beginners,
Mhm.
but then I would suggest one of the small hands-on guided, like Art of Lips. I have four.
Mhm.
Is that four? Yeah. For maximum, because then they can choose if they want the other three to watch,
Mhm.
or if they don't want any, because some of them can be a little bit nervous, or I have like observation spots, so they don't do the
Mhm,
hands on, but they are there watching and, get everything and to see
mhm,
everyone else injecting. So that could be something. So it's not like it's rocket science. And I always try when
mhm,
I educate, I'm not waving around with the most fanciest words. To be
mhm,
honest, if I have a fancy word here, I'm like, no, forget it. I'm finding a simpler one. I want
mhm.
people to, first of all, put their feet up, take their sneakers off. I mean, come on. For
Be
me,
relaxed. Yep.
it's about, yeah, feel
Yes.
like home.
Mhm.
Everyone, this like, yeah, we are
And
a
they can pick
community.
your brain
Relax.
in that situation, be your friend,
Yeah, it's
and
about
they can ask
scrubs and
whatever
skills.
they yes. Mhm. I
And I
love
just
that.
want everyone to feel confident and comfortable. I would
Right.
never try to put anyone, on the edge or anything. No, and just have a really amazing fun day, and you connect so much, especially in these smaller groups. So that has actually become a favorite of mine rather than the big ones.
Have you had people come back more than once?
Yeah.
Like, over and over again just to hear it again, I mean, and see it again because every lip is different. So, why wouldn't you wanna see a whole variety of lips be injected, and instructed in injection by you?
It's a good question also, Amanda, because they have come back, and the fun part and the good part is that they said like, well, this training was completely different.
Mhm,
Yeah, what did you expect? That I have done nothing on the side. I'm learning and developing and evolving too. So
mhm,
if you have been on my training for like 3 years ago, oh,
mhm.
God damn it, come back. I have so much,
Yes,
much new stuff. And
yes,
that's why I never stop seeing patients on the side, because if I don't do that, I won't be able to,
yes,
it's so important to
right.
have that.
Have
Yeah.
that connection. So you have your world as an educator, right? And traveling and then being home, and you have your world seeing patients. In that world
Yes.
of seeing patients, what are you telling them in the modern world of aesthetics to do? How are you telling them to hold time back when they come see you?
Well, first of all, hold time back. I just want to, you're like, okay, here she comes. I mean, first of all, to hold time back, I mean, first of all, and my diagnose, when I was diagnosed over a year ago with stage 3 breast cancer, um, that journey have already taught me so much.
Mhm.
Oh, I'm
Mm.
so blessed. I really took advantage of that to learn and really wake up and, oh, yeah. But for that reason also, priorities, to
Mhm.
prioritize things
Mm.
better. And it's just to take a few steps back and look at your life from a little bit more bigger perspective.
Sure.
Um, and do some really dig deeping and to realize what matters in
Mhm.
your life and try to prioritize, because we 24 hours, I wish I had more time. Yeah, but
Mhm.
if you really look at what
Yeah, you can look
so
deep in there and go, "Wow, I'm spending my time doing these things that I shouldn't be doing
yes,
when these things make me happy. How can I have more of those moments?"
exactly. So for
Yes.
my patients, like, first of all, i I tell them to go slow and steady.
Mhm. Yes.
If you want to work and reach a goal that takes several sessions. But I mean, if you are self conscious about anything and if it's bothering you, do
Mhm.
it. Or,
Right.
if you feel comfortable. But the thing is also what I'm always putting my patients in focus, always.
Mhm.
That is like the reason you mentioned that, yeah, I did launch my balm, that I
Mhm.
was
Yes.
also
I know.
blessed to challenge myself. Yeah.
Yes. So this was one of the things that made you happy, right? This
Yes.
was a passion
That made
project.
me, that
Let's
is a
talk
passion
about this
project.
balm, okay? First of all, the box is everything, and then you open it up. I have 2 here just to make it easy, but you open it up, you have an applicator here, this amazing applicator, and then inside is this balm that comes out. in this black, very elegant box like this. Comes in the box like this. You pull it right out, open it, and you use this little applicator to apply it. So tell us all about the balm, Julie. We want to hear all about this and the development, and then what your vision is for the next 5 years of this in every clinic for people using it as not only a healing topical for lips, but as a hydrating moisturizer and plumping as their lip journey goes on and on and on to make the best possible confident lips you can. So tell me all about the balm.
Yes. So the balm is like, it's for the patients and hold back
Mhm.
time. I mean,
Yeah.
the healing process of the
Yes.
lips is
Yes.
the worst. Not
Mhm.
no other indication. You
Mhm.
know, they
Yes.
swell, they bruise, they're in the middle of the face,
Mhm.
and people look twice, three times. They think twice before they book a lip appointment,
Mhm.
because
Yep.
it has to fit in. They have to
Very, very, very.
self-isolate their.
Mhm. Yes.
So how can I make the healing
Mhm.
experience better for
Yes.
my patients? So that
Mhm.
was the why, really.
Yes.
And who have not been searching their whole life for something like the perfect nude color of their
Right.
lipstick?
Right.
You never found it? You found
Mm-mm.
the
No.
perfect foundation,
Uh-huh.
right? You're
Exactly.
seeking. I was like that with balm,
Mhm.
and I didn't tick all my boxes. And eventually I'm like, God damn it, I'm going to do it myself.
Yep.
And, side project, but it was such a passion, but it was all for the patients and
Right.
to give them that more, you know, faster, accelerating healing process. They don't have to self isolate. Bruising, swelling goes down so much faster, so much, or less discomfort.
Mhm.
And it turned out to be the most amazing, unique formula that I've ever experienced. And I got the sample in my hand.
When did you get the
Yeah,
sample? When was this? How long ago?
it it was not long time ago I was diagnosed with breast cancer.
Right.
That's when I received. So I was in a quite good mood when I
Wow.
received
Wow.
the
At the
diagnosis.
same time, you had the formula made right when you were diagnosed. So it was like
Yeah, that was
this
like
wonderful
okay, now
news
I'm
and this
gonna try this. Yeah,
mm,
started chemo,
mm,
everything dried out. It was a
mhm.
mess, and cracking up. It was, yeah, 2.5 weeks after I used my balm, everything was still dry and cracked up and bleeding, except my
Wow.
lips and mouth.
Wow.
So
Wow.
that's when I really, are you kidding me?
Mhm.
This is it. This
Hmm.
just has to, people just needs to get this in their hands.
Yes. So, I mean, really, in that case,
Unparalleled.
it's not just for lips. I mean, it could be used for healing in any situation.
God,
For
Amanda, I've
the
had
most
it everywhere.
wow. Wow. Well, it's absolutely incredible when you put it on your skin, you can just see my skin shining and glowing all through there. It has an incredible texture. I know that with this podcast, you are offering a special 20% if anyone in the next 10 days of release of this podcast. So if you're listening, a special 20% off 5 or more. When you purchase 5 or more in a group, you get 20% off if you use the code HTB pod. So Julie's going to be offering this as a gift for anyone that wants to try this. It could be, it for your med spa, absolutely. If you want to get a gift of 5 to give to friends and family over the holidays, you could order it that way as well with 20% off. So I highly recommend you try this incredible balm that Julie has made because she's making a difference in the world of aesthetics. So
Thank you.
absolutely. So what do you see in the next 5 to 10 years? Where do you see aesthetics going in the next 5 to 10 years? What lane do you think it's going to shift into?
I think it's probably going to continue have at least two lanes, different kind of lanes. So
Mhm.
I think each and every one of us just have to decide where we fit in.
Mm.
If we look at our fundamental values, empathy, what, our goals, what we want to give our patients. I mean, I market myself the way so I can attract the demographics of patients that, I want to attract.
Yes.
So I think like it's going to continue. It's going to continue to come trends. Some of
Mhm.
them are just there for 5 minutes. We have a good
Yes.
laugh, and some of them are there to stay.
Mhm.
There's still going to be competition, community like that, but I do believe that more people like you and me, Amanda,
Mhm.
that really love this community, and
Yes.
we focused on the good people that want well with good intentions.
Mhm.
um, I think maybe hopefully that um, it's gonna be easy to go that path, and that's gonna be a bigger community, and hopefully that will be my goal at least,
Right.
that
Right.
it's enough patients for everyone, and all of us, doesn't matter if you're a doctor, dentist,
Mm-mm.
PA, nurse, RN, NP, da 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 da, can do a rap song.
All the things.
We all need each other, surgeons,
Do.
derms, yeah.
And some
So,
people find their lane and they just want to do the one thing and other people want to do all the things. And I think it's just
oh,
people finding what their lane is. What is your passion?
yeah,
Where do you
exactly.
fit in and where do you find the most happiness giving back
Hmm.
to those patients? So
Yes,
yes.
yes.
So if I were to ask you, to give us some inspiring words for people just starting out when you get discouraged on a given day, when you're like, oh, I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if I can get there. What would you tell people just starting out or maybe in the middle of their journey that really want to succeed in aesthetics? What would you say to them?
I would say, you, my dear friend, shut your mouth, look and at yourself in the mirror, smile, because I know you can do it. Everyone can do it.
Yes.
Everyone can. It's
Yes.
a matter of how much you want it and how much effort you're ready to put into it. And I think by leaning on or seeking out to people that really motivates you or inspiring to these people, I think that is the way to go.
Hmm.
I started now. I'm grabbing someone completely, not that someone that already have done good stuff or are having a successful business. Like anyone from my trainings, I
Hmm.
see that they want. I see that ambition, but they're quite newbies.
Hmm.
I grab them. I say, "You are my VIP guest at my next training."
Love that.
So they get a seat at the side of the stage,
Hmm.
and they get to come to the training for free, no charge. And I involve them a little bit, ask them questions, just so they can have a little taste. That is also a way for me to help people, because maybe they're like, "Oh,
Uh-huh.
this is what I want to do." Yeah,
Yes. You
giving
inspire them to
that
reach for that.
opportunity. Yeah.
Yes.
So I have that now, and I'm gonna implement that as a routine wherever I go. I'll have this VIP guest, and
Mm.
I love to really focus again. Sorry, but of course it's gonna be a couple of men here and there, male nurses, but
Mhm.
nurses,
Uh-huh.
women,
Mhm.
um, different ethnicities, very important for me.
Mhm.
Um, it just so yeah, they can see a little bit from where
Beautiful.
I'm standing and see if
Mhm.
there could be something for them. Yeah,
And that
stuff like
impact
that.
would really just change their lives. Yeah, I mean, you just giving them that seat, giving them that spot and saying, "I see you. Look in the mirror, you can do it." Like,
Yeah,
that's getting them to the next level, so that's a
that's the
precious
thing.
gift that you're giving people. I love that.
They need to see themselves. I see
Mhm.
you. Why don't
Yes,
you see you? That's the
yes.
thing. That's the step they have to, yeah.
Mhm.
Mm,
You know, aesthetics is such an interesting world because we do treat a lot of female patients, and there are a ton of
mm,
female providers, as you said. And women
mm,
used to not have a massive amount of success because we weren't given opportunities, in previous decades. And now we
mm.
have this industry where we can rise and give others
Yeah,
confidence and rise in our own power and just be there for women and women and men both. We're being there for both, but it's really just
yeah,
empowering people to go into a field where we can give that confidence to others. So this field is special. I think, with the field growing so much in the future, we're going to see
mm,
changes, but really the core of it's all going to stay the same because it doesn't change. You need to study facial art, you need to study your injections, you need to
mm.
concentrate. I know we've talked about this before. I have you in my head when I'm injecting lips in the room, and I'm always thinking,
Yes.
"Okay, what would Julie say? What angle should I be pushing at? How slowly should I be going? Which type of lip is this?" And so, having mentors that can really
Mm,
make an impact in your life. I
mm.
mean, you've made such a major impact in my life, and again, I just wanna thank you for that. You have
Thank you.
changed how patient care is delivered here in San Diego, and
Thank you.
you're the reason, and you're gonna be the
You're
reason
the
all
best.
over the world, Julie. You really are.
Aw.
So, thank you for being on the podcast today.
Oh,
If
thank
there's
you.
anything else you want to share, now's the time. Is there anything else we didn't touch on that you want to share?
Well, I can share a little a teaser.
Okay,
The
I love it.
balm,
Uh-huh.
you know, it should be available for everyone, right?
Mhm.
That is a luxury version. It's quite expensive to produce and therefore also quite expensive to um, buy.
Mhm.
But the thing is, with my treatment protocol that I have, with my specific numbing technique that makes the patient really numb, only the lips, completely pain-free treatment, and then that balm is going with each and every patient. No one is
Mm.
leaving my office without that balm. So with that, it's just to increase the patient satisfaction,
Mhm.
as little discomfort as possible.
Mhm.
So it's in my protocol, and that's what I want. Um, exactly. So we are
Mhm.
gonna launch another one soon.
Ooh.
Other Yes, without saying
Wow.
too much. But yes, and the thing is here again, I don't do that to earn money to charge more for my patients.
Mhm.
What I do, what it costs for me to take that balm in, I just add that cost to the lip treatment.
Mhm.
That's how
Mm.
I do it
Perfect.
because I feel my patients deserve that. This is not I can make profit of other things. I don't want
Sure.
to take that out of those. So that's the whole idea with this, that it's to be implemented in the treatment.
Right.
So, I mean, for some people, it can be a little bit too much to add on to a treatment, but with a
Mhm.
new launch, it might be easier, who knows? But it should
Mhm.
be included in the treatment. And that is what I want to see more worldwide, that um, medical providers, they're really putting that extra effort in to for their patients,
Right.
for them to yeah.
And I mean, at the beginning of the year, it's so easy for us to increase our prices just a smidge, like a little bit for our patients. So when you do that
Yeah,
increase and you bundle something that is going to give them the best result, it's a no-brainer.
that's the
So the
thing.
luxury experience, having the balm bundled with your lip treatments should be a
Yeah,
no-brainer, when you're, treating patients
100%.
with lips. Julie, thank you so much for being on the podcast today. It was wonderful for you to share all that information that you shared with us, and I encourage those listening to follow Julie Horne Lips and look at the master classes that she has posted and make the effort to go attend one. It will make you take your lip services to the next level. Really look at the face, the balance, the chin, all of your treatments will become better after taking one of her master courses, and you'll be filled with her spirit, which is just incredible. So you'll have
They
laughs.
won't get away from that.
You'll have all of that. And definitely remember to take advantage of buying this lip balm for your clinic and bundling it as a luxury lip service. So you can go to Julie Horne Lips and see this. Is that where you want them to go where do you want them to go to purchase?
Oh yeah, they can go to my website, link in my bio, juliehorneacademy.com. Yeah, sure.
So that's how you can find out everything
Absolutely.
about Julie, and really take your education to the next level. I believe that we should follow and study our mentors on a regular basis. And Julie is one of those that I consider my mentor. Even if she doesn't talk to me all the time, I'm looking at what she's doing. I'm looking at where she's training, what she's teaching. I'm learning from her. I'm pulling in things from what she has learned and taught other people. And that's truly the way to get better in aesthetics, is learn from others that are the greats in aesthetics. And Julie is the top great that I could imagine having on the podcast first. So I'm just so honored that you were here today, Julie. Thank you.
I'm honored. Thank you so much.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Holding Time Back, brought to you by Alpha Aesthetics Partners. If you like what you heard, please leave a comment below. Until next time, keep dreaming, keep striving, and keep holding time back.